disbursement report?
It's an information only, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, it does say report. All right, thank you. With that, let's go ahead and move to item 6.12, which is consider approval of 2109 annual financial audit. And I believe trustee Natasha Butler asked for this item to be pulled. Ms. Butler?
Yes, so I have a couple of questions. So one is about the process for this. I noticed that there were only 2 companies that responded back to the RFP and to the RFQ. And so again, I keep questioning the fact that we're in the city of Houston, we're in the state of Texas, and we only got 2 responses back. So looking at who we did business with, I didn't see a lot of accounting firms or even firms like this that we use. And so that was one thing that made me question. But the other was Whitley Penn. And we have had contact with them for what, 28, 29 years. So is there a point where we might decide, or why the district keeps going back to them? And I say that because there was this letter that came from TEA in 2019 from the TEA audit, where they said that Whitley Penn missed something that was, as it relates to a deficit position on the statements, as well as something not being classified correctly as it related to a Spark Park. And so, you know, I'm just curious as to when the auditors miss something that is in the hundreds of millions of dollars as it relates to TRS, why the district would want to go back and reuse them again.
I have no information whatsoever about the situation you're referring to. So I totally am not aware of a situation where Whitley Penn has missed something on an audit. I've never heard of that. I'm not questioning that it exists, but it's not something I know any information about. And so could not have used that as part of the evaluation.
Yeah, because it says it was July 10th, 2019. The Financial Compliance Division has reviewed the AFR report ending in August 31st, 2018. And that's where it said that there were some items that were missed. One was the unrestricted net position on the statement of net position. And then the other was the schedule of expenditures of federal awards. So
this has nothing to do with Alief, correct? This is in reference to another client?
No, it's Alief. It says the financial division of TEA has reviewed the Alief ISD's annual financial compliance report for the year ended in August 31st, 2018. In accordance with Texas Education Code, we have prepared the following comments for you and your school district's board of trustees to review.
Well, would you please share that with us? Because
sure.
That's not for me. I'd appreciate it. I'd appreciate it having that. That'd be.
Yeah, I just got it like you know, just earlier today. After
it must be some sort of mistake, because we've never had an issue with TEA related to our audit report or any findings. And if there were questions, we've addressed those through TEA, and our record is perfectly clear with them.
Yeah,
thank you, Ms. Winston, Mr. Chambers. Thank you so very much. Trustee Butler, we really do appreciate you bringing this and bringing it so public. It would be very, very helpful if you would send that information, because we also have to be very careful when we place the names of individuals out there, because overall, at the end of the day, I care about the district very much, and I do not want to do anything that brings damage or harm to the district. So it'd be very, we would really much appreciate it if you would share that information with us. I mean, I'll be very honest, it just seems like one of those courtroom moves to announce that so publicly. I'm not disputing it, but if we had that on file or on copy, we could share that publicly with the public. Otherwise, people are going to walk away from here thinking that the board approved something. And I will say that I've been a board member for 13 years and have not heard that. If you felt the need to go and communicate with TEA or someone, and I know that you have financial standings and as an accountant that you may have access, but it would be very, very helpful to possibly share that information with your board. especially your board president. I fully support every member that's here, but it would be helpful to share that information so that we can arm the public with the information as well, so that everyone could have it. Are there any other questions and comment, Trustee Butler, that you would like to bring?
No, that was it. And I just emailed that off to Ms. Wentz and Superintendent Chambers and yourself. So I just received it at like 5:57, and so I assumed that it was a meeting that I had missed. So I do apologize if you guys had not previously seen that.
No, it's not even about that as much as it's about if you believe that there was something that that the board should have known, because anything that board members want to know, we make sure that that is communicated through our attorney or through administration properly. And that is the only thing. And it is not because of for pure transparency. We would like to know that so that we can also be very protective of our district, because who would want to have that type of information to come out about your district that you of something such as that has not been fully vetted. And that's the only issue that I would have. If there's nothing else from you, Trustee Butler, I do have a question that I would like to ask of Ms. Wentz concerning this particular item. Are you okay with me moving to the next item?
Sure,
Okay.
no problem.
I would like to ask Ms. Wentz, my question and concern with this is the fact that, yes, over the years that I have been on the board, you know that I've always questioned the audit processes. I've been very appreciative of each firm that we've had. I've also asked to the point that you make it very, very clear when their contract is up for renewal. And I do appreciate that. The only concern that I have is, yes, it will seem as if we utilize this firm over and over and over again. And I come to understand that in that, it's just the way the process works. So I looked at the matrix for the questions that are being asked and things like that. And until something is different about that matrix or different about the mindset of what it is that you guys are looking for, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same firms. And I do respect that. So with that, I just wanted to, like I said, point out my thoughts and concerns, because it is an item. When I did look at it, it's concerning to me that we do come to this question. And you know, when we have the audit meetings, you know that I've always sit in on the meetings. And I think even 10 years back, we've asked a question about the firms that we're using, to the extent that the firm assures us that they're using different auditors each year. And you guys have gone through the trouble of assuring us that this process is always, it goes out for procurement. We do not know why all other firms are not. We haven't investigated that, but that would be helpful, as Trustee Butler has pointed out. It'd be helpful to understand, you know, and Deanna, do you guys put this in the newspaper as well? I'm not quite sure on this one for procurement, you know,
Yeah.
So it'd be helpful that once it goes out again. I think Charles used to do a great job of certain things that would go out in the newspaper and send a clipping to me, so that I can also assure the public of those people who are asking me the question that it was in the newspaper, and I can prove that point. But other than calling them up and, you know, and telling them to join, as a board member, I cannot call my vendors and say, I think that you should do this. When they call and ask me, I can say that information is available on the website, and it's available through the newspaper. Am I correct? And I think Attorney McBride, we've had some conversation on procurement. Would that be the appropriate position for a board member to take?
Included within the board document is the confirmation of the advertising dates within the Houston Chronicle, as well as the list of all vendors that have registered with our district to be separately notified of financial type opportunities. So the information was sent both to the Chronicle as well as anyone who'd registered with the district. I will add that the two firms that participated in this request for qualifications do the vast majority of school district audits within the Region 4 area, as well as throughout the state, and are very specialized in order to provide services to school districts. They're very knowledgeable. They present at all of the conferences and classes that we attend and are well recognized as experts in their field. So I was not personally surprised to see the two firms that responding to our request for qualifications.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, Ms. Wentz. I really do appreciate your feedback and information on that. And it would be.
Sorry. And to answer your earlier question, you are correct. Once a procurement goes out, board members should not be contacting vendors. Some school districts even go so far as to have a code of silence that starts when the procurement is announced, or for certain federal procurements 30 days before the procurement is announced. So yes, absolutely right. No contact with vendors.
And just Ms. Williams, Ms. Butler sent us a copy of this letter. I've just reviewed it. This is not as it's portrayed. I want to be really clear about a vendor that we use, and we're recommending that this is not a finding of a concern or a problem with us or oversight. I don't ever remember seeing this letter, but it was addressed to me. I want to be really clear. It was addressed to me. I just don't ever recall seeing it. But it does not rise to the level of issue. But we will share it with the board, and we will share an explanation, and we'll come back and publicly explain it if we need to. But if there's I guess I'll end this by saying this issue comes up every time. If there's a problem we're trying to solve, please tell us what the problem is. I mean, I just want us to be sure that if you're in search of, not you personally, but as a board, if you guys are in search of a solution to this, please tell me the problem I'm trying to solve, because we've done everything in our power to identify the best vendors. Yes, there are a lot of auditing firms out there. Very few of them audit school districts. Very few are governmental auditors. That is a totally different animal. So no, we don't have 15 or 20 auditors responding because they're not out there. They don't do governmental audits. So I want to defend Deanna, and I want to defend her team, and I want to defend Adam as they go through this process. They know, Ms. Williams, they know that you guys watch this. They know we've had people talk in patron presentations about how we continually use the same auditor. I don't know what to tell you. We're bringing the best firm to you to consider. That's it. If y'all want us to change for the sake of change, we need to do that. But I just want you to know that we're doing everything we can to bring the best people to the board and the best recommendations. And Whitley Penn has been stellar. They're top shelf. They're gold standard in this industry. And so anyway, I just wanted to clarify. We will come back with a response to this letter since it's been made public.
Thank you.
I can briefly.
Thank you, Mr. Chang.
I'd like to just.
Go ahead, Deanna.
I had my email closed because I always do during board meetings, but I pulled up the letter that's being referenced. And this is not in any way a letter that is critical of either the district or Whitley Penn as a firm. It's bringing certain information to light, the fact that we had to implement a new accounting standard and clarifying the treatment for that, as well as saying in one case, instead of putting a CFDA identifying number, it was filled in as NA. And the conclusion in that letter is that we consider the review of your annual financial report closed. So this is in no way a finding related to either our district or Whitley Penn as an audit firm.
And so Deanna, at this time, I'm going to take liberty as a board president to state that while that has been discussed, that is really out of the scope of information. We will, Mr. Chambers, make a note, bring this back for board discussion so it can be properly placed on an agenda so that we can fully do that. Otherwise, it would seem as if we are in a moment of defense, and we're not. I'm going to also remind every board member that we receive our packet on Thursday. That gives us Friday and Monday if there are any questions, or if you're even seeking any other information, you have the opportunity to notify the attorney, your board president, as well as administration. So that would be very much appreciated. But we do appreciate the watchful eyes of our board members. And at the end of the day, we respect transparency. We would respect that more than, putting your district in an adverse position. So thank you so much, Deanna. I appreciate you reading that and making the effort to respond to it, but we will respond to that properly when it's placed on the agenda. Okay, thank you. Any questions or concern about item 6.12? If not at this time,
Ms. Williams?
yes.
Hello. Hi,
Yes.
I'm online. I got home safe, so I've been able to listen the whole time of the conversation. And in the more than 12 years I've been on the board, I have total 100% respect for our accounting department. Even with retained leaving and so forth, everything's changed. But still, I totally respect everything that's coming through there. I trust what they say. We get reports every week, twice a week, every month. We get constant reports. I'm, as a board member, and as I said, I'm in the 12 years we've never had this where somebody just brought something up at the last minute and brought something on a board, even at an open board meeting in the district or online. I think Ms. Butler, and I will say your name, to bring that forward. If you think something was coming, something in the mail, to do this, because we want them to be transparent just as that they would want us to be transparent. I have never had a situation where I've requested information and I've never got my answers done. I maybe not at the time of Thursday or Friday or whatever, but I kind of hold them for respect for the position and for the education to get these answers answered. And I've never had any problems of anything. And if we had ever an issue, we discuss them as a team of 8. We bring it up and then we do it. So yes, I am definitely in favor of bringing this onto the board meeting next month and putting on his agenda so that we can clear this because there's names out there thrown, Whitley, and slanderous, and it could bring us. So I want to make it very public and on the next meeting so that we have it very clear and stomp that out before the public gets aware or thinking something different, that we're not being transparent. So anyway, I'm off that box.
Thank you, Trustee Moreno. I really appreciate your comments on that. Gerard, I'm going to ask, I noticed that Trustee Butler has lost connection, so please be on guard for her attempting to call back. So let's make sure. But I also said that to state that we do still have a quorum of board members available to continue with the meeting. Okay. And thank you, Mr. Moreno, for acknowledging your presence. Thank you. At this time, board, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve item 6.12.
I'm here. I make a motion. Oh, go ahead, Ms.
It's been moved by Jennifer Key. Am I correct?
No, I had a comment that I wanted to make before the motion was put forward. May I speak?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. I want to say that in all the years I observed the board from the other side of the table and the 3.5 years that I've been on the board now, I totally disliked a gotcha kind of attitude, and gotchas are not appropriate from us or from the administration in the district. So I agree with you and Rick that it needs to be brought up for discussion. And while I'm not an accountant, I've been married to a CPA for 43 years, and having a long-term relationship with an audit firm who specializes in what that firm does is typical of the industry.
Ms.
Williams,
Ms. Williams, I want to be really clear. Ms. Key used the term gotcha. This was in no way a gotcha. There was nothing to be got. And I know you didn't mean it that way, Ms. Key. I know you didn't mean it that way, but I want to be really clear. There was no gotcha. There was nothing to be got you about. So
it's a non-issue.
That's poor grammar, but I just wanted to, and I know you didn't mean that, Ms. Key, but I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, it was the way I felt like it was presented, not that there was something to catch. So if that's what came across, I want to be very clear. I don't think there is a gotcha to get, but I don't like surprises like that.
I understand, Trustee Key, which is why as board, thank you, Trustee Butler, for returning, which is why I wanted to remind as board president the protocols, because we have citizens and patrons and community members who are listening to this. They have not been on a board. They do not understand our process and protocol. It is our job to educate our public as to our processes. That is the only way transparency can happen. So we do, as I said, appreciate Trustee Butler bringing the information, but we have a protocol in which if there are questions about anything in that board packet, that they could try to bring it forward before the meeting begins. We have Friday. You have the administration is available on the weekend if needed, as well as Monday. You have those opportunities. It is not just to for the board to, for the administration to come up with an answer, but it allows the entire board an opportunity to be able to gather the new information that's been brought, and so that we can all make good decisions based upon the items that's put before us. So we do appreciate all of the comments on that. And so at this time, I'm going to end the conversation on that item and ask for an approval to, a motion to approve item 6.12.
I make a motion to approve item 6.12.
Thank you, Trustee Moreno. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Trustee Key. So it's been moved by Trustee Moreno and second by Trustee Key. I will go with the roll call in order to begin obtaining a final vote for this item. Trustee Darlene Bro, for or against?
For.
Thank you. Trustee Jennifer Key.
For.
Thank you. Trustee John Wynn. Trustee John Wynn, thank you.
For.
Thank you. Trustee Rick Moreno.
For.
Thank you. Trustee Natasha Butler.
I abstain.
Thank you. And my vote at this time is to abstain also from this. Let the record show that the vote passes 4 with 2 abstentions. Now that that item has been moved, we're going to go on to item number 6.13. Item 6.13, and I do believe that that was one by Trustee Bro.
Yes. I just had a quick question or just an explanation. And I just want to make sure this is something that I can ask. It was in the evaluation